Welcome to Red-tastic. Story 1. Am I the a-hole for not giving my brother money after he wouldn't be my kid's guardian? I don't know how to feel about this situation, so I'm turning to internet strangers who at least won't know my name if I am the a-hole in this situation. My husband and I have 2 kids. Because we both work in healthcare, there is an increased chance we both could die in the current situation. We decided to update our will and decide on our children's guardians. My brother lives in the same city as us, with his wife, and knows our kids the best of all our close relatives. I asked him to be our children's guardian if both of us die. He replied, "Whoa, that's a pretty big ask." I said, "I know. Obviously take some time to think and discuss with Anne. We would definitely be leaving money for the kids' needs. But they know you two the best. If we both die, we don't want them in foster care. And we want them to be with the people that know them the best." He immediately responded he didn't need more time and definitely wouldn't be able to take them. I said okay and stopped the conversation there, but I was upset. I understand it's a lot to ask, but isn't that what family is for? To back you up when things go seriously wrong. I didn't bring this up again with him. A week ago, he called me and asked for a significant amount of money. Because of the current situation, he and his wife are out of work, and they have a lot of loans and other bills to pay. We couldn't give them this amount of money without dipping into our savings. The reason that I'm refusing is because the amount of money he asked for, we will need to give him the ready money we have, the liquid savings, and break into our long-term savings, which will incur penalties and obviously screw up our long-term savings plans. This is not a small financial hit we will have to take, but I might have actually considered it before. But why screw myself over financially for someone who won't do difficult things for me too? Normally, I would have bit the bullet and after discussing with my husband, gave him as much as we could. But now that I know that if things get bad for us, he won't be there to help me, I'm not really motivated to help. He got angry at me and accused me of refusing only because he wouldn't take guardianship of the kids. I told him that now that I know that there may not be any backup if something happens to us, I don't think it's a good idea for us to make ourselves financially unstable too. He hung up, and I haven't bothered to call him since. I thought my brother was the one person who would always have my back. I don't have a good relationship with my parents, and he's the one I've talked to about it all. So many times, when I've not needed it, he's asked if he needs to help with anything. But when I take him up on his offer and actually ask for help, he says no. My kids love him and his wife. If my husband and I were both dying, it would have at least given me peace of mind that my girls were safe. But now I'm left questioning what our relationship really is. You're not the a-hole in this situation, OP. Like you said, why should you go above and beyond for someone who wouldn't do the same for you when you desperately need it? He's your brother. And I get that he might be scared about the idea of being a guardian to your kids, but these are his family. What's the point of a family if they can't step up during desperate times? The fact that he outright said he doesn't want to be their guardian if something ever happened to you and your husband is a real eye-opener. Yes, he's still your brother, but it's really okay to not go out of your way to help him out, since he won't do the same for you. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. Now in brother's defense, it is possible he refused for good reasons, like he knows how unstable he and his wife are with money. I'm actually facing the same problem with sister-in-law, but your kids have to come first. Setting them up with enough money to be safe and secure is where your priorities have to lie. If your brother is willing to end a relationship just because you won't lend him money one time, then that is on him, not you. He isn't morally obligated to take in your kids, and you aren't morally obligated to loan him money. I would strongly caution against ever loaning money to family for several reasons, but that's a rant for another day. Neither of you were a-holes for asking, and neither of you were a-holes for refusing the other's request. The only part of your narrative that turns this, not the a-hole instead of no a-holes here for me, is that your brother reacted like an a-hole because he didn't get his way. You respected his wishes, he needs to respect yours. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for refusing to change the wedding day for my sister? I, 28 female, am the youngest of 4 siblings. By the youngest, I mean that I am the literal oops baby. My closest sibling is 14 years older. I moved across the country in my early 20s. Starting out on my own wasn't easy, but I was happy. I eventually finished school, got a good job, and met an amazing guy. Last year, he proposed. We moved in together and started planning. We had decided to hold off on the wedding for 3 years so we could pay and plan everything comfortably within our budget. Our intention is to be able to have our wedding while remaining debt-free. We have made down payments on the honeymoon, venue and such. We've outsaved the dates for the people scattered across the country. 2 months ago, we sent out an update with the location. The final invite will go out 6 to 7 months before the ceremony. I got a call from older sister Tracy a month ago. I thought it was kind of odd since she never tries to interact with me. She asked some questions that made me uncomfortable, but I was happy she was trying. 2 weeks ago, Tracy calls me again and I answer. Tracy: Hey, how are things? Me: Hey, everything's fine. How about you? Tracy: I'm great. So I guess we're going to have the same wedding day. Me: What? Tracy: Yeah, me and Ben just got engaged and he wants to get married on that day. So that's when our wedding is going to be. Me: Oh, okay. I didn't know you were seeing anyone. How long have you two been together? Tracy: 4 months. 6 if you count the 2 months we talked over Facebook. Me: Oh, well, congratulations. I'm guessing you won't be coming to our wedding then. Tracy: No, I was thinking that you could change your date so that you could come to mine. That won't be that big of a deal. Me: Not a big deal. I've already told you that we've already made the majority of reservations. Why would I pick that day? Tracy: You should want to give up that day to your big sister. Don't be so selfish. Me: No. Good luck with that. We're not changing it. Last week, I got a call from my mom's phone. Dad's voice as follows. Dad, we need to talk. Me: Okay, what's up? Dad: You need to give that day to your sister. Me: No, Dad, I really don't. Dad: Yes, you do. I'm paying for her wedding and this is the day she wants. Your sister is 49. And if she can wait this long to get married, then a difference in days won't matter for you. Me: Well, Matt and I are paying for our wedding and we decided on this over a year ago. Dad: That doesn't matter. You are the youngest and she should be married first. Me: Dad, I'm not a child. She had the chance to be married first with the guys she had 6 kids by. She still has the chance to be married first. There are 2 years in between now and then. We are not changing the date. Dad: Either change the date or none of us will be there. You're obviously not the a-hole in this situation, OP. Your sister is being a selfish a-hole, and your dad is being an a-hole too, but a bit understanding because he was paying for your sister's wedding. I understand that he doesn't want to see all that money go down the drain. But this is none of your business. You already picked the date and made preparations. Your father should be threatening to pull out his support from your elder sister since you had the date first, instead of enabling her silly behavior. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. How did she even manage to pick the same day when there are 700 other days between now and then? Is it some big occasion like 4th of July? Or a date with family relevance or something? Yeah, she's done that deliberately, but I can't even think why. If she was that fussed about getting married before you, as your dad suggested, then she could have set the date at some sooner point between now and then. That's really, really weird. Yeah, they all sound like dicks. Do not capitulate under any circumstances. Not the a-hole. Your sister's Facebook dude did not pick your wedding date. She received your save the date, became jealous, and demanded you give her what you have. When you refused, she went crying to Dad. She sounds miraculously immature for a 49-year-old. Your father is quite the ass as well. I'm sorry they don't like you, but you seem better off without them. In general, do not negotiate with emotional terrorists who threaten to not attend your wedding. Hope it turns out great. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for telling my adopted sister to go back to her true family? Throw away because my parents use Reddit and know my Reddit account. I know how the title sounds. But if you are not willing to read the full post before commenting, then don't comment at all. Your perspective about this situation might change. Being the only child in the family was awesome. I got to have my own room, friends, iPad, etc., which I am now obligated to share with my so-called sister. Yes, even friends. They adopted her 1 year ago for a reason I still fail to understand, but I strongly believe it's because I was not good enough for them. I'm really hurt because they never ever asked me if I want another sibling. I just had to accept the fact that I suddenly have a younger sister and should now share everything I have with her and treat her as part of the family. How am I supposed to do that? I can't just start feeling close to her. And the fact that I am forced to involve her in all my plans infuriates me and makes me hate her even more. Today, my friends and I decided to challenge ourselves to stay awake all day by doing many different sorts of activities that will keep us from getting bored. Obviously, since we share the same room, my sister heard this and told me she would like to join the activity. I was honestly hoping I could finally do something without her, but of course she had to ruin it. I told her no, and she said she's going to tell my parents about it. I then got mad and told her to get the F out of my house and go back to her biological family. Excuse my language. Her voice then changed and she told me she doesn't know where they are, but I told her to shut the F up. Again, excuse my language. And not get emotional with me because I really had it with her. She left the room and I started crying because of how stressed she makes me. But I realized I should whip my tears fast because my parents can't see me like this. Otherwise, they will believe my adopted sister's words and I'll get punished for it. She obviously told them, but I denied what I said. I normally don't lie, so they believed my words and are now talking to her, obviously without being harsh, and will still not punish her because, God forbid, they treat my adopted sister wrongly. Am I the a-hole for the way I reacted? Final edit. Wow, I am back after 7 hours and this happened. Okay guys, I got it. I'm the a-hole. No need for more "you're the a-hole" comments or facepalm, poop awards to let me know that what I did was wrong. Also, regarding the auto mod, the mods responded and told me they will not remove it, so calm down. I won't delete the post, so you no longer need to upvote auto mod. This is embarrassing. Also, regarding the PMs, I now reached 500 and might not be reading them. If you actually wrote something nice, then I'm sorry I didn't get to respond. Now for some comments. Everyone sucks except your little sister. It's clear that your parents haven't made a proper attempt to help form a connection between you and your sister and haven't properly reassured you that you are loved and enough. I'm unsure how old you are, but you sound very young, which is impacting my opinion. Your behavior is wrong though. You feel rejected by your parents, but your sister was literally abandoned. And now the family she has is telling her to F off. It's not fair that your life has been changed drastically. Your parents need to allow you space. But your sister is your sister now. It isn't her fault any of this is happening. Everyone sucks here, apart from your sister. You're being a massive a-hole towards her. But honestly, I can understand why. Your parents have done an awful job of making sure you're happy with this, and it's clear you've got unresolved issues adjusting. However, don't take it out on your adopted sister because it's not her fault. Talk to your parents. It's completely normal to have difficulty adjusting to something like this and to want your own space. It's okay to not do everything with her, but don't blow up about it. Just say you would rather not. If your parents insist, you need to make them understand that you need your own things to do.